Whoops. What are you going to do now? If you've already tried crying over it and that hasn't helped, let's try something else. In this video, we're going to talk all about how to fix watercolor mistakes. How do we erase a mistake that we have made on the page? What techniques, what tools can we use to get rid of this paint? As you can probably already tell, paper towel is a good one. I like to use paper towel both damp and dry. It's very, very effective. What you want to make sure though is when you use paper towel, and particularly when you're stamping it down like I'm doing here, you don't want to keep putting it back in exactly the same position, because you will have actually created a stamp by collecting some of the paint on here. Now this has done a pretty good job already, but what else could we do? We can try scrubbing. You can also grab your brush and use that to gently scrub away at the mistake. Keep your paper towel handy and keep collecting that paint up. You're going to get to a point though when there's not much more you can really do. You might have heard of one of these things before. A little magic eraser. I'm going to dip mine into my water and squeeze out the excess, and let's see what this does. Pretty much what the name says. It is magically erasing what I put down. Now the thing is, I don't typically spill a bunch of colored water onto my work, and so I'm not really reaching for this on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully you are not also spilling large amounts of paint on your work, but just know that the option's there if you need it. That has taken a good chunk of that color away, that it would be very easy to cover this up even with a transparent layer. What if we've got something that's already dry though? Usually I am not trying to remove a big dark patch like this, but often I would be trying to soften the edges. Maybe I was working wet on wet, maybe I was introducing more color or water into this patch before it dried, and adding that excess pushed the pigment to the edge and created a crust, and I didn't want that to be there. This is what I would do. Grab my brush. It's always good to have a not great brush, because then you can go crazy and you're not going to worry about ruining the bristles like this one here. This is my good old scrubbing and mixing brush. So I might put my other one to the side and enlist this guy. Ideally you want to have no color in the bristles because you don't want to deposit anything back down. I'm being a little bit impatient though, so we're just gonna hope for the best, but you want a clean, damp brush. You don't want this to be dripping or sopping wet. Dab the excess off on paper towel. What you want to do is scrub in the direction. So no use going like this over this line here, or I'm just going to drag color into the white of my paper. In fact, let's just do that. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's not what we want to happen. Instead, we want to gently scrub and agitate along the edge here and immediately dab. What you sometimes end up doing is taking a little bit of color off the thing that you are trying to keep the way that it is. So be very careful and very precise. Right along that edge. Dab. Careful not to make a stamp. And we can just loosen that edge. And we take that away. Can you see the difference between that side and that side? How there's less of a crust here now. Making crusts in watercolor, it just kind of happens. It's no use fighting it. We just learn how to adapt to it. I'll give you an example of where this happened to me recently in a portrait and talk about a different mistake and how you can correct it. This is my most recent painting, this little baby bunny. It is my most recent tutorial in the Paint Wild Academy. And I painted the fur and the background first, and I cut in all of these little white furs, but I made these a little crusty on the edges. And that happened because I did that, and then I was introducing more color into this background, making it nice and green, and it just was pushing things towards all these tiny little edges I'd created. So as soon as I had dried that off, I went in with my brush and just gently agitated those edges and immediately dabbed them up with paper towel. This brings me to another issue. Can you see it? Can you see two issues here? Firstly, my tape was misbehaving. This rarely happens. I don't know why. I've had a couple of instances lately when I've been doing wet on wet backgrounds that my beloved 3M painter's tape has let me down. Could be user error and I just didn't push it down hard enough. I tried to scrub away at it, and then I just was like, you know what, I just don't care enough to bother. But what can happen when you are doing wet on wet and you use tape is the color travels to areas that you don't want it to. And even if you sit there and you grab it back and you grab it back and you grab it back, it still manages to find a way up there. How do I fix this? I just guillotine it. I just cut it off. Easy done. Don't waste your time fussing with this when you could just cut it down. That's my philosophy anyway. You could also cover it up if you framed it with some strategic matting to cover those very little edges right along there and clean that up. But I find it's just as easy to chop it off if something like that happens. While we're here, let's just have a look at how this magic eraser works on dry paint. Pretty well. You can actually wash watercolor paper. You want to be careful. Like with all of these techniques, you don't want to be disrupting the sizing. If you're not sure what sizing is, my last video will fill you in on that when we talk all things paper. Because once you do that, you kind of ruin the ability to paint on it. But plenty of people like to reuse paper that way by completely washing off their work, especially if they don't like it. Mostly if they don't like it. And then they can just repaint over it. As you can see, it does a pretty great job. But day to day, like I said, I'm not really doing this. I am usually trying to scrub away at some harsh edges or collect things up, and you can do that with your brush as well. So when I was doing the bunny, I was trying to collect this color up with my brush. Think of your brush like a vacuum cleaner or a leaf blower, depending how much moisture is on it. If there's moisture on the paper and moisture on the brush, it is going to act like a leaf blower and spread out like crazy. But if there's less moisture on the brush than on the paper, it is going to suck it up like a vacuum cleaner. Now, something else I like to do is when I'm painting, I don't like to go in with a million layers on the whole painting. Sometimes I just like to put a little bit of extra color somewhere, jam it in a corner somewhere to deepen it up. So instead of doing a million layers or wetting the whole paper down, I'll often add my color, then come up against the edge here and just sort of invite it out. And before I dry it, I take damp paper towel and I just dab away at these edges. And I find that that just helps melt things into the paper a bit more nicely, and it doesn't leave such a harsh edge. I also go in and dry it straight away so that it can't go anywhere and do anything funky. And there you go, perfectly melted into the page. Now you saw me try and lift this color off when it was spilt directly onto dry paper. But what about when we're working wet on wet? If we just have water down here, we are going to have much more of an opportunity to lift color off without leaving anything behind. Excuse the purple tinge to this color. My brush is not clean. So if I pop a bunch of color in there, and then I decide, you know what? I actually don't want green at all. Like I mentioned, vacuum cleaner. Clean this off, dab it off on paper towel, suck it up. Grab it, grab it, grab it, keep dabbing, clean off after a while, and go again. And if you're really wanting to get rid of everything, a friendly neighborhood paper towel to the rescue. Never happened. So lifting off with paper towel, with your brush, with a magic eraser if you really want to. Probably the most common way you're going to remove paint, the easiest, the most accessible. It's using mostly things you already have laying around, plus or minus the magic eraser. Scrubbing away, again, you are going to use the same tools. You're just going to be a bit more forceful with them. Use your brush a little harder. Or you can do things like completely cut them off like the edges of your painting where the paint has run. But what else can we do? You may want to cover it up. Covering up mistakes with gouache might seem like a good idea. It kind of depends. Here I made a little boo-boo on my seahorse and I tried to cover it up with gouache, and I think it just made the mistake even more obvious. And over time it kind of yellowed as well. You'll often find that the gouache is just a little too cool, that it stands out very obviously from the white of your paper. But if you're just doing a teeny tiny little mistake, it might be okay to cover up, but anything bigger and it gets a little bit funny. There are also specialized scrubbing brushes. Here we have a Princeton Fix-It brush. It is very dense. And actually, as I was using it a couple of years ago, it was just really pulling off as I used it. You can see there. I found it was a little too rough and damaging on the paper, even compared to something like a magic eraser, which sounds more horrific when you use it. I found this to be more damaging, but it exists if you are interested. For what it's worth, I've used it approximately 0 times in regular painting. Same with the magic eraser. You can also just cover up the area with a darker color once you paint over it as well. You don't need to do gouache. Now, I did some experiments a couple years ago on lifting off damp paper and dry paper using staining paints and a non-staining paint. I wanted to see the effect that the staining color would have and if it would be a lot more difficult to remove. I didn't really find that it was that drastic of a difference, to be honest, which is a good thing. So lifting with a brush, lifting with the scrubbing brush, lifting with paper towel, lifting with a cotton tip, lifting with the magic eraser, using a scalpel, painting gouache over the top, hilarious on the damp one. The obvious winners here were the magic eraser and the scrubbing brush, but it did start to peel up my paper for sure. The magic eraser was nicer on the paper when it was damp, a bit more rougher when it was dry, and the scrubber was just kind of useless on wet. It worked better on dry, but again, you want to be really careful or it's going to start ruining the paper surface and make it difficult to paint on anyway. But there you have it. Those are my tips on how to best erase watercolor paint. Rely on the tools you already have on hand, your paper towel and your brush. They will do 90% of the work you are going to need when you make a mistake in watercolor. But if you're prone to spilling color all over the place, you might want to invest in a magic eraser because it really does work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!